Welcome to Sustainably Speaking Africa, a podcast about reshaping narratives around sustainability and climate action in Africa. This podcast is brought to you by the Kenya Climate Innovation Centre and is made at Semabox. Join us for this and other episodes as we talk to industry leaders, frontline communities, and the innovators who are accelerating the progress towards a greener, sustainable future. Welcome again to Sustainably Speaking, and as always, please like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back to Sustainably Speaking Africa. We're joined by Ms. Caroline Chepkwony of Okavango Capital, who will tell us more about what they do and how they do it. Karibu sana.
Asante.
How did you find yourself in the climate action world?
Yeah, thanks for having me. And I found myself here because I'm a finance and investment professional. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I was seeing a lot of damage and the consequences of mismanagement of our environment and the ecosystems. And so I made an intentional decision that I wanted to be part of the solutions to try and reverse the damage that we have already done, not just for ourselves, but for the future generations.
All right.
Yes.
And what do you do at Okavango?
Yeah, I'm the investments director and manage investments. I also look out for new investments and also manage our investors. And basically, I'm the chief operating officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say new investments and already existing investments, how do you identify what to invest in?
Yeah, we are a climate firm.
Okay.
And so a lot of our investments, in fact, all of them are linked to nature. Mm-hmm. So we invest in businesses that are good for nature. So anything that's good for nature is good for us. So we focus on the key sectors that are the biggest culprits or contributors to the damage to the ecosystem. And one of it is agri. Mm-hmm. So we would look for investments in the sustainable agri. Climate smart and sustainable agri. We also like investments in natural capital because a lot also of the damage is on the use of natural capital. Mm-hmm. And when we say natural capital, what I mean is like our forests, the wildlife, and water, the soil. So anything that involves the natural capital that we have is some of the targets that we have. And as long as there's somebody who's doing something or has a solution that can help in terms of management of the resources that we have more sustainably, that is what we would steer to invest in.
Okay, so now that you're mostly in the agricultural sector and maybe forestry, as you've spoken, how then do you go further and identify maybe this company or this individual is doing something that we can actually invest in?
Thanks for that. So the thing is, when we look at some of the problems that we are having, it is caused by, like, for example, people are looking to feed their children, to feed themselves, and then also to cook food. So those are some of the biggest culprits in terms of destruction of our environment. So, for example, land conversion is one of them. So we would look for solutions that are helping reduce land conversion. Then also for fuel, for cooking, for lighting. So a lot of deforestation, charcoal burning. And you find that some of those are the ones that are causing the mess and the damage that we have in the ecosystem. So if we find a company that has a solution that is providing an alternative, so we then would follow up and then ensure that we've supported them to be able to continue with the solution that they have.
Okay. So what kind of support do you offer them?
Funding. is one of them. So we would give funding, and the funding can come either in the form of debt or any or equity. And a lot of the time also we would provide some support. We are active investors. So what we mean by active investors is that we would want to participate in the business and not to interfere, but to participate, to support the strategy, particularly the climate strategy, conservation, anything that is linked to making the business better, not just the day-to-day technical aspects of the business, but rather the conservation side and the climate and sustainability. Yeah.
So can anyone just come to you and tell you, this is the idea I have and I need you to invest in it?
Unfortunately not, because we focus more on growth stage businesses. We don't... we shy away actually from startups because at least your idea needs to have been proven and that the business model can work. You have generated some revenues. So at least we know that the solution, is viable. So you have to have a viable business model. And so I believe that then means that your business should be on the side of trying to grow and expand to new markets or even introduce new products.
As opposed to the research and development stage that makes sense.
And a lot of the time, the research, all that, the TA that you would need, should be funded by the grants and, either even if it's repayable. So, but for us, our capital is repayable, so with some return. And so our expectations is that then the business has to be generating some revenue. Yeah.
I have two questions to that. On one hand, a lot of people who invest, especially in climate smart technology, keep complaining that much as you're investing in them, you want your ROI, your interest, your return on interest tomorrow. And they're saying, no, we are still figuring it out. Climate action is, much as we've spent quite a bit of time, depleting the ozone layer and, the action bit of it is still new and we're still figuring it out. So how do you manage the interest between giving them time to manage their, work versus getting your ROI back?
I tend to believe that if your business is a business, it has to be financially sustainable, first of all, because by the time we're calling you a business, it means that you sell, you exchange a product or a service for money. So you should be making money. And so when we are coming to invest in you, then we would be looking for businesses that at least would be able to return the money. At least don't lose the money, you may not get us the ROI that we want, but at least we also we look for the impact. So we'll agree on some of the KPIs for impact. We probably would have some, 3 or 4 impact metrics, like, how much land to be conserved, or how much, how many people to be employed, and even the revenue to tax is also an impact metrics that we would look. But since we are a climate and conservation firm, then we would be looking more on the climate side of how much land has been conserved, how much carbon what sequestered. Then the other one is what, even in terms of biodiversity, have we regained some of the lost biodiversity?
So I am, you may invest in me. What are you looking out for? Do I need to have my corporate governance in place? Do I need to have my tax compliance certificate? What exactly do you need from me before you give me money?
So first of all, yes, you have a business, and I would expect to see the team behind the business, because it's very, very important. And I always say that as an investor, I'm looking at investing. It's almost like going to a horse racing. And then when you get to the horse racing, you ask yourself, I want to bet on a horse.
Okay.
So the question is, are you betting on the horse or the jockey? And so for us, we have to make that decision. Are we betting? So the horse is your business. So do you have a business? Is the business healthy or it's limping, or what exactly is the state, or rather the status of the business? And then now the team is the jockey.
Okay.
So when you look at the jockey, you start thinking, how experienced is this jockey? Does the jockey have a good support around him, and such that if anything happens, yes, then you can always replace the jockey and put another jockey. Why? Because the business, the horse is healthy.
Yes.
Yeah. Or alternatively, if the horse has a problem and the jockey is strong, you know that the jockey will be able to figure out how to deal with the situation. Yeah. So definitely we'll look at the team. And now that means that there should be strong governance, because also we don't want decisions to be made that would not favor the business. So we would want very good internal controls, very sound financial management practices, and what else would we look at? Yeah, and we would also want at least to see how much money have you contributed to the business, like how have you funded your business before, and then and what is the plan for the future?
Okay.
Because we are actually funding the future. We are funding you to grow your business from 1 million to 2 million to 3 million. So those are some of the things that we would be asking you to give us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a one-man show is very difficult for you to invest in.
Yeah. I mean, it would be so difficult because if you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk with people. And what we do is we try to ensure that you walk far. And when we say walk far, we want to see Kenyan and local African businesses, not just Kenyan, like we want to see your plan, you go regional, you go, the whole of Africa, and, have that impact scaled. So yeah, we are looking at having impact at scale. So one person cannot really be able to deliver the impact that we are looking for at scale.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Do you work only in Kenya?
So we do focus on the East African countries, which is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Zambia. And we can also invest in the other countries around the periphery, but we'll have to have a compelling case as to why we would be investing in them, like the business is really compelling, the impact case, or if they have a plan to expand to the countries that we focus on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any business you've supported that has expanded to beyond one country?
Yeah. This one we supported in Zambia. It's a carbon company, and they are now looking at Mozambique, I think.
Okay.
And there's one also that we are currently supporting, and they are looking at expanding to Uganda. Yeah, so still on the early stages of the plans, but yes, that's what we are.
All right. Having networks in the very many countries you've mentioned, what's one lesson that you hope we can all learn from each other?
Yes, I think there are best practices in a lot of the other places, even from just one company to another. Like, for example, when you look at there are a lot of plastic recycling companies, for example. If you look at one, then there's something they're doing better that if the same can be replicated or transferred to another one, then it would either improve the margins or even improve the impact or even accelerate their growth. Yeah, so when you look at the other countries as well, they have some very good policies and also work practices that would make some companies in different countries more efficient and also you accelerate the growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you hope to see in the future?
Yeah. Speaking as an investor, I think one of the things that we find as challenging is data integrity. So for me to make an investment decision, I need to have data that is true and fair and accurate. And so I am able to make good decisions. And the other thing also is, which I believe in, is garbage in, garbage out. So if you make decisions based on the wrong premise, then you don't end up getting the right solution or the right end game. So if you're making an investment decision based on projections that are not right, or even the historical information that was not kept properly, then it means that you will not be able to tweak the business to be able to give you what you're looking for. So one of the things that is really like critical is data, having accurate and correct data. And also the other thing is the business readiness. So sometimes you find a business is good, but they are not well prepared. So and when you say well prepared, is that they do have all that information, because as an investor, you want to do your due diligence, because you cannot just blindly go into something without knowing what you are getting yourself into. So sometimes the information is there, but it's either not in one place, so it's all over the place, and so it becomes inconvenience for like some of these companies. So by the time they are giving you that information, it becomes a burden. Yeah. So the whole experience is not good, both for you as an investor and also for the person who owns the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had mentioned data, and the second one was business preparedness.
Yes.
I want us to dig a bit on that before we wrap up.
Yes.
What shows preparedness?
Yeah. So I think when you're going to ask for money from an investor or even from the bank, you automatically have to provide something. And what you need to provide, a lot of the time, they are the standard documents, which you would have certificate of registration, and all that stuff. But then there is also the other extra information that is supposed to help the investor make a decision as to what the needs even of the business are. So when we look at some of the businesses, you find that they don't have the capacity. A lot of the time it's just the capacity, because they are busy. If they are selling pencils, they are manufacturing and selling the pencils, but they are not thinking about, what is the environmental impact of the pencils. They are not thinking about, where the information has been kept, whether we've updated this database and all that. So, or even, where, whether what information would be required by the investor themselves. So that preparedness is basically a fundamental requirement by all investors, not just, as a climate investor or even the banks. Anyone else would require the same information. Yeah. So, getting them ready would be good, and also presenting the information in a way that speaks to the investor. Because sometimes you can present the same thing, but in a different way that you sell yourself short.
Okay. All right. I want you to leave us with one or two things.
So one of the things that I would say, which I'm very strongly passionate about, is ensuring that women and the youth are actually involved in the climate action that is. There's a movement that's going on, and I think involving women and youth, they are the frontline warriors, in my opinion. So for women and youth, I think all of us need to realize that they are the frontline warriors, because they will get killed the first. Yes. So they need to be at the forefront of our climate action, because they are the ones who will get the consequences of drought. The consequence, they have to go looking for water in far distances. If there is a fire, they will be the ones who, bear the brunt. Floods. There's this lady who keeps saying, Serikali saidia. Seriously. Yeah. So my parting shot is that women and the youth should be at the forefront of the climate action.
All right.
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
Other than in my office.
Yes. Where's your office?
Our offices are in Karen.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're on social media as well?
Yes, I am on social media. You can find us there at Okavango Capital on LinkedIn. I think that's where we are more active.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Asante sana Mukami.
Karibu.
Yeah.
You've heard it from her. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with people. We'll see you in the next episode.